Well, howdy. Howdy, 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 howdy. Morning, everyone. Morning. Morning, 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 morning. We're gonna finish the walk cycle, just setting up a little bit, real quick. Finally got my laptop set up as a second monitor, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. I can now actually see what people are saying to me instead of through my phone. But, real quick, got my coffee. Grab a quick snacky, and we'll get started on this. Wasn't able to stream yesterday. I got a little sick, and then I had some stuff I had to take care of. Ah, there we go. Perfect snack. Oh, somebody's been eating all of it. Jerks. Snack was for me. Alright. Good. I'm ready to go. I don't know if you're ready, but I'm ready. But let's do this. Morning. Morning. Nice to see all your pretty faces. Oh, hi, Har. You want to say hi? Here, this is Harley. She's going to be the animation dog of the day. And we're going to get started. So, last time we left off, we did the final upper body. Get that out of the way. We did the upper body. So, we're going to work on the arms next, I'm pretty sure. And this dog is just going to disrupt all the animating for today. Yeah, you are. Maybe you'll get me some views. So we're going to take care of the arms, the head, and then we're going to go back, fix the feet, fix the timing of the feet. You're going to have to get down, Dougal. I know. You just want love and attention. You too. I know. So we're going to finish that up. Let's see where it's at right now, because I forget a little bit. The feet aren't as bad as I remember. I remember the feet being a lot worse. Honestly, it's not terrible though. I really like the body. I really like how the body's working. I think it's very nice. Very nice. Just want to do something real quick. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna have to. I did have a talk with some people, but we're gonna counter animate the head rotation because yeah, he is a little goofy, he's a little tough, but to make him look tougher, somewhat, we're gonna lean his head a little bit forward and we're gonna keep it level because this rocking back and forth with the head doesn't feel right to me. Not for the character anyway. So we're gonna play with the neck control first. That's the peak right there. So let's see. That's better. I don't think I want it to stay completely in a line, but I want it to be somewhat level with the plane, so we're just gonna adjust that. So it's rocking a little bit too much. Like I keep thinking he's like leaning to the left too much, but when I go into front view and then measure it out, actually it's better with the cube. We'll do it with the cube. So that's the peak of where his cheek is, right? And it's gonna hit the exact same side, yeah. See? I just feel like he leans so far to the left. I don't know why. It's just a little optical illusion, but like looking at it from this view, it's fine. I don't get it. I don't get it, but we're gonna roll with it. Alright, so let's fix the rest of the head because he's leaning back too much. Let's see. Let's move that back. I think we're supposed to have a smooth animation, so what's that? That's at 12. Alright, and then 1 and 45 should be the same. Yeah. Look at me go. Starting off the day right with getting everything right on the first try. There we go. At least the head's a little bit more. Looks like it's rocking to the left and the right too much. Actually, no. I think we want it to rock left and right just enough. Maybe. Oh, I think it looks fine. Um, I do need to go back and fix the feet. They are a lot better than I remember. Especially you see that it snaps in. It's fine. We'll fix that. We don't have to worry about that too much. Let's do the arms now. So the arms counteract the leg. So it's if his left leg's forward, then his right arm is forward. And I have to find the reference again because I think I deleted that. Put that over the screen real quick. What is it? 100 walk cycles. 100 different ways to walk. It's slow. And what was it? 207, right? Yeah. So, does he lead with the arms or lead with the feet? And that's the question we gotta ask. So, it looks like they reach at almost the exact same time, but I think the arm reaches there just a frame or two ahead. So, we'll do a frame or two ahead. And how does he do his? We're not gonna follow that one. Well, let's try the other one. What was it? Confident. Yeah, that's it. A drunken sailor, what will he do? Did I miss it? I see it on the picture right here somewhere. Oh, maybe I'm mixing up with Boxer. Where is it? This is bothering me. AP copy. There we go. There it is. Yeah, I like the floppiness of those arms. We'll see how he does it with the feet. So, foot, and then reaches 2 frames after. I don't know if you saw that. I'll bring it back up. So the foot, the opposite arm is moving forward a little bit more. Foot touches down this frame, and the arm moves forward another 2 frames after. So that's what we're going to follow. We're going to get that little floppiness. We don't want it to be too floppy, especially on the right arm, because he is carrying a sword. So we want to show a little bit of weight with that sword. Yeah, it looks. My model isn't the best, but I only did it in like a minute. Wasn't that special? I need it there for reference. But we're gonna make this paper thin little sword be a little bit heavy. Granted, he does have some pretty hefty arms, so he's probably pretty strong with it regardless. It still needs to show some amount of weight, and we can always, if we start off with it seeming like a lot of weight, we can always just change that later on, you know? And I forgot to do one more thing. I forgot to turn on the light. Plus, I don't want to work in a cave right now. I don't know about you. I lived in Monty for way too long. And that coffee is cold. And I feel like I just made it. Alright, so it's going to reach its peak 3 after. I like cycles. I really do. I Not that they're easy, it's just there's just something to that I absolutely love doing. And it's soothing, relaxing. Not that I don't have to think too much, it's just it's hard to explain. I like cycles. I feel like I can get a lot of personality out of them. Just that shoulder. Excuse me. So how's your guys' day going? You all of your days going? Sure. I'm an idiot. I got a lot I gotta take care of today. I gotta help somebody with another animation, which they didn't text me about last night, but I forgot to text them. I was sick. But I also gotta go to the post office today. I've been to the post office like 3 times this week. Today should be the last. How does he flip his arms out? A little bit straight. Now, something I like doing, especially when it comes to rigging, is I like to lock off. Oh, I'm going to delete those too. I like to lock off the other rotations that I'm not going to do because when you're moving an arm, you can't really rotate this section. You're rotating the wrist, and this joint literally only moves one direction unless you broke it seriously. It's not gonna move, but hey, you never know. I like to turn it off though. I like to keep it consistent with what I do. So, where is it? What do we do with a drunken sailor? That's a little bit forward. That looks pretty good. We'll rotate it forward. You just gotta be wary about the tip of the sword. So we are gonna do what I like to do. I wonder if it'll work for Vertex. Negative Ghost Rider. Alright. is A-okay. Should put on locators. What do I know with the drunken sailor? So we're going to put this locator on the tip of a sword, and we're going to do some cool stuff. I'll turn that back to world real quick. So we're going to make the sword the parent, obviously. And then we're not going to do it just yet, but we're going to create a motion trail on that locator, and we're going to see where the tip of the sword goes. And the reason I do that is because the tip of the sword is going to be the main focal point of where the eye goes. So that's what you're going to notice first, just from experience and just people telling me, hey, you're going to notice this. Why are you going to notice this? It's because it's the thing that moves the longest distance. I just know that. I do. I really do. I need more coffee. I'm going crazy. Let's rotate it. And then what was the midpoint? 23. So delay 23. 1, 2, 3. And the arm is going to go back. He really throws it back, straight armed, almost like a runway model, and I don't like that. I don't think we're gonna follow that. Let's see. I just like how the arm goes forward as opposed to back. I should really do a timid one next. That would be really cool. That would be incredibly easy. Hold on. Side note. This would be incredibly easy. This timid, look at it. His hips don't move, his upper body barely rotates. You're literally only animating the hands. That's going to be such an easy but really cool walk cycle to do. But yeah, that's not what we're doing. Yeah, it's almost like a runway when the arm goes all the way to the back. So, a runway model. I don't like that. Let's go back to the scuba, see how he does his 207. Yeah, so he like wraps it wide ways around, which would make sense more for his body rather than lifting up his feet because he's got such a wide body. How does he bend it though? Oh no, don't do this to me. Oh, thank God. We almost. Uh-oh. We're good. We're good. Somewhat. Oh no. What is going on? What just happened? I think we lost it. I think that was it. Yeah, first crash on the stream. Actually, first crash I've had on this computer. I don't know why that crashed. Sometimes Maya just crashes on rotations. Bring that up. I don't want you guys seeing my method to madness. That's mine. You don't get to see that. Come on. That is very upsetting. Let's see, is it responding? No, it is not. Bye bye, Maya. Bye bye. And why aren't you gone? One sec. Yep, that one. We're back. Alright. Sorry about that. Oh, by the way, love Dead Cells. It's such a great game. It's absolutely beautiful too. Highly recommend it. It's like $20 though, I think. I think Eddie said. Oh no. There's nobody there. What are you barking at? Alright. Let's see if whatever I saved actually broke the scene. I don't think it did. This is gonna be interesting. I don't want to work on a broken file. Now it's working. Sometimes Maya just messes up. It does. Everybody I've known to work on stuff like this has had Maya crash on them multiple times and did not save. Luckily, I was able to catch a save out of that. That almost never happens. And so constantly saving is a thing. I think there is like an auto save you can do. I don't trust it. Plus, I don't like things like reminding me to save. I don't know why. I know it's the smart thing to do, but whatever. We're not gonna get into that. You came here to watch me animate, hopefully, or at least talk to me, be friends with me. I don't know. I don't know who you are. One, two, three. Hey, it's the third one. Yeah. I'm losing my mind, I swear. So, what is wrong? I think I forgot to do this one. Yeah. One, two, three. But yeah, Dead Cells. It's a very good game. I just recently started getting into those oh my god, the different genres that there are for those types of games. That one is a roguelike Castlevania. Roguelike, I think, not rogue. Oh, shoot. Oh man, I forget the type it is. It's so you play as a platform. It's a platformer type, but the room is always changing and it's permadeath. So what permadeath means is every time you die, your character's dead. You start from the very beginning, kind of like an old school Nintendo game or any old school arcade game. You die, you start from the beginning. However, in the rooms always change. You will never play the same game ever. If you do, it is astronomical. Like the chances of that happening. Um, it is incredibly difficult. It's you always die. The only thing is it has a slight progression thing. The more you play, the easier the game can be. Like you upgrade some stuff. There you go. But I don't know why I've been absolutely falling in love with those types of games. I got the new one that's in early access on the Epic Store called Hades by was it Supergiant? Is that Supergiant? I'm pretty sure that's Supergiant. They did Bastion, which was their first game that they came out with. Absolutely beautiful, and yeah, Supergiant Games. That was right. Transistor, which I got to play very little bit about, very little bit of. My buddy Morgan, he was the one who bought that, and I got to play it off of him. Pyre was the only one I never got to play from them, but I heard it was still very good. And now I'm playing Hades, and that's a roguelike. You play as the son of Hades. Oh my god, I forget his name already. But you're trying to escape from hell or the underworld, and you go through these many different things. It goes into a little bit of the mythology of the Greek mythology, which is I absolutely love. Um, I absolutely love that. But I've just been falling in love with those types of games. I really want to make my own too. We're going to stop right there on that arm. We're going to do the other arm first, and before we get into the actual timing with the sword. What do you want, dog? What are you crying about? Uh, it makes me want to make my own indie game by myself, which I do plan on doing, but I have a lot of other stuff I gotta take care of. Um, don't you talk back to me. What do you guys want? You guys want to go outside? That's probably what they want. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'm just... Finish these animations for these guys. These people. I gotta stop saying these guys. Apparently, that's like a very bad thing to say in interviews. Mainly because of the guys part. You never know who you're gonna talk to. Which I agree with. It's a sex thing. I get it. The sex gender thing. I get that. I just gotta stop saying it, and I keep doing it because it's almost it's almost like a New Jersey Italian thing. These guys, they come up to me. I don't know. No, right? Maybe I'm just crazy. Pretty sure that's the case. All right, where was I? 3 frames after. That's what I said, right? Right. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So one thing I do know, especially about walk cycles and when they're carrying an object, uh, one thing to show off weight is not necessarily the arm that's holding the object. It's actually sometimes the arm that's counteracting the weight. You really sometimes need to swing it. So I actually love this positioning right now. We're gonna save that. I'm gonna go back to number 3 on that arm real quick. So you're really gonna swing the arm forward and back a little bit further than the other arm because it's counteracting the weight that's in the right arm. It's going to move a lot more. It's going to move a lot quicker, which is perfect. And especially with the way his hand it was made, modeled out, I think that was perfect like that. Like, look at that. Bam. I think that's muy bueno. Muy bueno. Now we just gotta copy it over. So, if you have been watching, I like to delay these things a certain way. 1, 2, 3. Let's see it work. Bam! Look at him go! It's almost a real walk cycle. Look at that. Alright, I gotta let the dogs in. And I gotta... We're gonna do this. Because I think this is funny. I've always wanted to do this. It's a new text document. What are you doing? Sorry, I really want to do this. This is gonna be my BRB screen right now. I do have a Be Right Back screen, but I want, if in case anybody stumbles across this and just wants to see it. BRB. Dogs. Enjoy the show. In case anybody stumbles across this and they get piqued by interest. I'll be right back. I gotta bring in my dogs and dry them off because it rained and it's wet outside. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. I promise. I promise I'm back this time. Actually, we're gonna make some coffee because I ran out. I swear I'm turning into my professor. He drinks like 20 cups of coffee a day. And I need to stop. I need to slow down on my coffee drinking. I just can't help it. I, it's sterile, and I like the taste. Anybody? Anybody? Dodgeball. Patches O'Houlihan. I gotta take this. Sorry, that was Lauren. Alright, so what I set up before was I create a locator at the tip of this sword, and we're going to create a motion trail with it. So the reason why I did this, though, real quick, um, I made it the child of the tip of the sword, or of the sword, and when the animation plays, your eye is going to be caught mostly by the tip of the sword because that's the point where it travels the most. And we're going to do the motion trail now is because we're going to be working on the wrist because that's where it's going to be directed from most of the translations because the parent of the sword is the wrist. And that's where a lot of it's going to come from. And we're going to create the motion trail to see the path. And we want to keep it a very, very smooth, somewhat smooth path. And go to animation, click the locator that you have constrained, visualize, and where is it? Create editable motion trail. Now, I don't, when you see the motion trail, turn that on. It's actually got a really nice motion already. The only thing is we can't have it go through the floor. So, but its motion actually isn't that bad. So the only thing I don't like is this little point right here. This one's fine, but it's going through the floor. The reason we do this is because it is one of the um, 12 principles of animation is arc. Is everything's going to travel arc, and it makes it appealing. Those when it works, it goes hand in hand. So we want to keep this in an arc fashion. Now it's traveling in an arc in this direction. It's getting a few different crossovers here and there. So it's very nice already. That's why I said I like it. The only thing is it comes to a point. So when it hits up here, at that point it doesn't look exactly right. So we want to make it bow down a little bit. And of course we can't have it go through the ground. So that's what we're going to fix. Now, if you are directly animating something, like say I wanted to put the motion trail on the wrist, and I'm going to be putting a lot of keyframes on there, you'll see a bunch of numbers. Yeah, you'll see a number, and then you'll see the motion trail, and it'll do its thing on the motion trail. But we're going to do that. Now, the reason why I did erase the motion trail is because I put a key on it. But if you had keys, you'll see the numbers and you'll be able to adjust those points on the motion trail. Don't always do that. That doesn't always work. Use it more for a visual cue than a actual animation cue. Now, there is another way to animate the sword to get the rotation just right, and there's a bunch of constraints that you could do. Like you can do it's like an orient and aim constraint. There's like a point constraint almost, and it's a back way where you animate the control back that way. There's a very good, what was it, C-Graph? Was it either this past year, 2018, or is it 2017? There's a ridiculously good C-Graph conference which opened my eyes to a lot of these different constraint animations, and it did it perfectly. Showed it perfectly with a sword animation. It was like a little mouse, and it does a little attack. However, its forward motion on the attack was right, and it did a keyframe, and then it's like back motion up here. But when it did the swipe, the wrist did a bunch of weird things, and the tip of the sword did a bunch of really weird things. So what they did was you could do what I'm doing. I don't fully have that constraint animation this way down just yet. I'm still catching up on learning on that one. Um, Plus, I have it on the old computer, on that link saved, and I don't have it saved on here. But it'll take me forever to find it too. It took me forever to find it the first time, but it cleans up the animation and the path of the sword, and it links it with the wrist. So we're not going to do that right now. We probably when I have to do the attack animation, we're probably going to do something similar, and I will have that down. I'll be able to show you that deck that at that time because it's a little weird. But to show you how the motion trail works is we're gonna bam. It already just in a motion trail, but now there's a little dislink right there, and that's because frame 1 and 45 are not the same. But we want to keep a lot of what it's doing already because a lot of what it's doing is pretty good. I think the only thing we want to change is from frame 20 to around like 36, 37 area. That's the animation we want to change. So we're going to try the peak of between that. What did I say, 20 and 37? Yeah. Now you see it's still doing an arc. That's very nice. What we're going to do is we're going to copy that animation over. 3. Actually, I think this is the peak of the animation right here. I really like this. It's very nice. That, copy that. Nope, didn't want to do that. It was a dumb move. That's what I wanted to do. Bam. Now 45 and 1 should be the same. Almost. Why are they not? I don't know. Are these the same? Are these the same? Then why aren't you the same? Now they are. Perfect. Now the wrist is doing a little weird motion, but we're going to play with that. At least it's within bounds of what we want it to do. Yeah. Especially right down there. You can see it got back to that point. We got the correct point up here. We're going to play with this too. This isn't exactly right, but... Oh, no. We're going to delete some of these frames because I don't like having those extra frames around. I think we got some on there too. So we're going to not touch the forearm and the bicep because I like where they're at. I like where my head's at. Alright. Beautiful. What do you guys think? Yeah? No? Yay? Nay? It's weird. The music I'm listening to actually like bobs with him. Like he matches up with the music I'm listening to. Alright. One sec. We're going to drop the frame because 45 and 1 are the same, so it's creating a little stopping motion. I think I know what's going on. I accidentally did something I probably shouldn't have. Just yet. Not yet. It's because it messed up that curve. What I can do is I can just quick fix to that. and still not have those frames. Just key 45, key 1, key 2, and key 44. And then I can delete all those. And it'll keep the exact curve that I had at. New follower. Neo Reth. That was that. Sorry. I got this streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube right now. Oh, why is my chat not working? And apparently my audio is not working. That is weird. It says my chat's working. Oh, shoot. Wow. And I've been talking a lot too. 1 second. Huh. Let me know if you could start hearing me. That's so weird. Well, it was all this chat stuff was working. You could see the chat, but I can't see chat. All right. Oh boy. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'm gonna try and. It says it's capturing audio. How about now? Now my video's not working. That's some strange stuff. Well, I can hear myself. Can you guys hear me now? Yes, no, yay, nay? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Jerk. And I thought nobody was answering me. That's so strange. You have to be hearing me now. Okay, it's working now. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know how long it was cut out for. And you guys are seeing the chat. My chat is not working. That is. It's weird because the only reason that the chat on screen is working is through the app that I'm seeing. However, the app is not displaying any of your things. I thought nobody was talking the entire time. I'm sorry. I'm used to not being popular. Why is it not working now? Alright, we're gonna deal with that another day. I don't want to be caught on that. That's fine. As long as you guys can hear me now, that's better. I'll just try and watch the chat as best as I can. Here, I'll do this. There we go. That's better. All right. That was weird. Thank you for catching me on that one. All right. Back to this. I don't even know where I was. All right. We're gonna try and get this done today, though. Turn that audio off for me. All right. So what we did with the arm is we want to do something very similar though. So when I was working with the forearm, I wanted it to rotate past the bicep. So when the bicep reaches peak, I wanted the forearm to keep rotating. It creates a nice little overlapping effect. So this little curve that we got going on, we want to keep it. We want a similar curve. With this, we just don't want it as severe because we want to show the weight of the sword as well. Oh, that's what I was saying before. Oh, it echoes a bit. Okay, thank you. I think I know what that is. I got two audios going on. There we go. Now the echo should not be on. Honestly, I don't touch these settings. I had it right the other day. Thank you, Austin. No, I had the settings right. Well, I did just use my laptop as a new monitor. I'm changing up my headset. I need to get a new thing. Um, I need to bring my mic down so I can use that. But I like listening to music, and that's also what I'm going to turn on. God, it's a good day. But what I was saying, I guess I don't know if it was cut out or not, was there was a SIGGRAPH conference either 2018 or 2017 that did a bunch of animation constraints using a little mouse character for a game. I can't remember the game. It's a little mouse character. It's got a bunch of like leafy green stuff on it. Looks very interesting. I never got to play it, but they showed off a lot of the animation for it, especially with the amount of constraints that they did for this snake animation, and they did it like on the spot in the middle of the demonstration, a snake animation, and that type of like that type of movement and getting all those animations is ridiculously hard, and it takes a lot of time for a snake. Like the biggest thing was the octopus from Finding Nemo 2 or Finding Dory. That animation took years just on the octopus alone. So, granted, yes, the snake is one of those tentacles sort of animation, very similar. They were able to do all the animation. I think it was about 10-second long animation on the spot, like it was nothing, because of these constraint animations that they. It was a special program that they used, but it dealt with these constraints. But the easier way to lead into it, they started off with this mouse animation doing a sword attack, and they had two frames right. They had one where it was fully forward and one where it was like cocked back, where the mouse is about ready to strike. But when the mouse went to when they did the spline animation to get to there, the wrist did a bunch of weird things, and really you want the tip of the sword almost to be the leader of the wrist in that, and to get like a nice smooth arcing animation, which is kind of what I got going on here. But it did like some weird things, and then it did a really weird twist, and you're able to constrain it backwards to have this be the parent of the wrist, and not necessarily a parent, but a aim and orient constraint, and a few other things that they did, and they were able to clean it on the spot. I'm not going to do that today with this. I'm going to do that when I do the attack animation for this character. And I'll have that set up to be able to show you how that works. Very, very useful. It cuts out on so much time. The thing is with this, it's a little easier just to keep the motion of it without doing that right now. It's just a little bit easier. But I'll show you the constraint animation on definitely this thing. Actually, on this belly thing. Jerk. I could show you that right now. It's not a big deal. We got a lot of the body motion alright, but I'll show you what I'm talking about with this constraint animation. So we have this stomach piece right here, right? What we are going to do is we're going to create a locator. And it is exactly at the same point of this um, where the joint is for that. So we are going to make that a child. I just love doing this. I love doing this technique because it does overlapping very, very well. Constraint, make it a child, and then we're going to bake it. So 45 key. I have it set. Starting. Yeah, we're good. No. No, 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 no. Time slider. And we're going to bake that. And then we're going to remove the constraint off of that joint. And we're going to make that locator the parent to the joint, or the control. So now that has to follow whatever the locator does. And the reason why we do this, the reason why we're going to do this is because we can play with timing without having to do a lot of extra work. So this is the movement that the locator is doing right now, right? And it's exactly where it was when it was a child to that. However, we're going to do some cool stuff. We're going to mess with the rotation. It did gimbal in these two spots, but since it's keyed frame by frame, it should be fine. So we're going to play with this. Check this out. So I'm only doing the rotation right now, but we're going to delay it by 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe not enough. And then we're going to do the Y. The Y is where you actually see it the most. The rotation is just for 1, 2. Yeah, you see that? How it's a little bit off from the stomach now? I guess the rotation is too much from left to right. Oh no. Actually, no, we're going to keep that. I think I know what it is. We're going to delay these ones a little bit, just by 1 frame. I know, it looks a little bit weird right now. It looks like a bouncing ball, and it's like counteracting from itself. So this is going to take a little bit of playtime, but you can see what I'm doing is you can play with all the different timing of that. And you can literally just do whatever you want. This thing is fun. Yeah. So Austin, I know you're watching. You just sent me this video. Just looking at it, yeah, that is pretty damn similar. That's not the video I was talking about, but that is that. Just looking at the image, it looks exactly like what I'm talking about. Um, but see, that looks nice right there. Actually, I kind of like that. But that's how you play around with this. I'm going to delete all of this though because um, we're not done. That's like one of the very last things you do. You don't really do that at this point in the animation because none of this is actually cleaned up. This is just my base walk cycle because we got to clean up the legs, we got to clean up the arms a little bit more, um, and the timing of it. Right now we're just fixing the sword hand, but I will get back to that. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this today. Well, especially the cleanup. I think we're gonna finish all the base animation today. I got a few things I gotta run and do in a bit, but yeah, that I will for those watching, I will put a link to the video that he just did. I'll do that right now, actually. Do this one. Here you go. Oh, come on. So the way you have to use a laptop as a second monitor is really weird. I'm using it through a Wi-Fi thing. I don't have an extra port that I can link it to the computer. I want to keep it separated. But I'm gonna put that link up that Austin just sent me. If that's okay with him. I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm definitely gonna try and find that animation. The other animation I was talking about as well, because they go into a lot of depth, and it's just a good CGraph. Anything in CGraph is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Ow, that's loud. And we'll put it. Sorry, I can't hear my own voice. I just can't do it. I get so disoriented. Okay, thank you, Austin. Oh my God, that's so annoying. So when you listen to your own voice and you're talking, especially when there's a delay, it really messes me up. I know it's a psychological trick, but I know you're gonna see it 3 times on the chat, but I'm sure it's on if there's anybody watching on any different stream that they have access to this. Um, when I go back and put it in the description, I'll do that too. But what am I looking for? There we go. That's weird. It did a little face thing on the Facebook one, but sorry about that. My dogs are also barking. My wife is home. Alright, but right now, we're going to get back to this. I'm going to turn off the motion trail for right now because it's going to bother me a little bit. Well, I want to animate first and then motion trail second. Alright, sorry about that. You know what we're going to do? Oh, nope. There you go. All right. That doesn't look too bad. Now let's see the motion trail. The motion trail's probably gonna be horrendous. Yeah. Create a little peak up there, and it's not the same on 45 and 1. All right, that's not too bad with the peak though. Oh, I know it's. Why is it making a peak? That's weird. That looks better, but 1 and 45 are not the same. 6. That's why. I swear, there's a lot of method to my madness, and it works. I'm still listening to the same station I was listening to last time. And it's the Cowboy Bebop song. I freaking love that show. Yeah, there we go. Now I look at the motion trail, and it's a little messed up right there. That's fine. Why is that peaking now? Whoop, whoop, whoop. What I want to play with right now is that. We're going to tween it. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Let's see how it plays out now. God, help me. There we go. Why? Why? There we go. That's what I want. Yeah, that looks awesome. I know the 1 and 45 aren't the same. There you go. Perfect. I like it. We're keeping it. We're not touching it. There we go. That's what we got. Bueno. Actually, let's move the motion trail too. It's looking pretty good. So setting up a lot of this stuff, cleanup is going to be fairly easy. I didn't even touch the shoulder yet. That's awesome, and it still looks pretty good. The shoulder isn't really going to mess that up. Oh, I really like the arm movement. I really like the body movement. I like the arm movement. This thing's coming together very nicely. There we go. Sorry about that. Shoulder. Shoulder's gonna be very easy. Back to the reference. We got it mostly from the confident walk, right? So he really leads with his shoulders. His shoulders are already popping back before his arm. I don't know if you saw that. Like I saw it in the first 2 seconds. Yeah, really leading with the shoulders. So his are going to be up a few frames. So we're going to start back here. Throw it forward. What is that? 1, 2, 3. Right. Oh, there we go. I think it needs to be a little more. Head a little bit more. So we're going to move that forward. 1, 2. We're going to throw that off a lot. No. Now it's counter animating. I'm going to put it exactly on the dot just to see. I think I like it back together a little bit. We're over exaggerating it. Let's cut it back. Yeah, that's what I wanted it to do. Almost. Seeing from that angle. Move it back here. Actually, there we go. Actually, on the point, not delaying it too much is exactly what we want it to do. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Real quick, we're going to save that, because that was a lot of stuff between the last save. We didn't even touch the other arm yet. So the other arm is going to be a lot of counter. What time is it? Oh, it's 104. Alright, what we're gonna do, I got a few things I gotta take care of. I don't know when you just texted this to me, but thank you, Austin. Thank you for checking it out, and thank you for watching me. Definitely. I'm trying to when I do these animations, I try and find something that wasn't always taught at SCAD. Not always, or just different ways to think. Not necessarily that SCAD was wrong by any means. I, I learned how to animate from there, and I thought it was fantastic. But just different ways to think, new ways to animate, like the constraint animation. It was taught in a different way, using it for different things. I was never taught to use it for the overlapping action, and it makes my day 10 times easier doing it with the constraint animation. So, but yeah, thanks for checking me out, man. I really like it. I like this animation so far. But now we're gonna fix this arm. So what we really want is we want it to stay in this front motion a little bit longer. So we're gonna tween it. We're gonna tween it back a little bit. So if you watch, we're gonna have to put it in the back way too, but just slightly. And so that's at 43, 45, 44, 43. Yeah, that's right. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely loving it. I think this is coming out awesome. So this is going to stay a little bit low. This is when it comes forward, or goes back. There. Hmm. Oh, oh, there. Snapping a little bit too much. There you go. Yeah, that's the motion I want. That's the motion. I like that. I like this. I like this. Beautiful. Very nice. Alright, Well, we're going to play with this one a little bit. I don't think we touched any animation on this, did we? We did. So we're going to do the same thing. How we have this type of curve, we want the same sort of curve. Except it's almost going to be exact opposite. So its peak, where's the peak? Its peak was right at 25. So we want it to start at 27 and go 33. 27. And 33. And same thing with this one. 1, 2. There you go. So keep popping up. Awesome. Actually, we're also going to take these down. Bring these up. Oh, not that much. Broke the dang elbow. I'm liking it. So what's really going to set off this overlapping action is actually going to be the wrist now. And it's going to be similar to what we did on the other one. So peak, back right there. Like that. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bam. Ugh, excuse me. Look at that. Awesome. Alright, the back is a little bit weird, but I like how floaty it is. It's so funny. Well, we just gotta clean up the feet. Alright, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright. So next time we are going to Do the fingers on the left hand. Fingers. Left hand. Feet, obviously. That's the biggest thing we got going on. What do you guys think? You guys like it? Yes? No? Now, once when this game's actually completed, I will definitely give you guys the heads up. This thing looks it looks pretty good, and it's not even done. Like there's a lot wrong with it that I could say, but it looks pretty good. I'm very happy with this so far. I'm very happy. I don't know about you. I'm happy. Sorry. I just want to take a little bit of a moment to be like, I did pretty good so far. If I keep doing this, I'm just going to get better anyway, so all these animations should end up being pretty freaking awesome. So feet, fix. Next time, feet, fix. I'm going to fix the feet. We're going to do the overlapping action with all the extras, the tongue, and the belly thing is pretty much it. Overlapping. Belly shield. Oh, spelled shield wrong. And tongue. Excuse me. Tongue. Can't spell. And then pretty much clean up on everything. Finishing cleanup. It's just standard that I do for everything. Just last minute stuff that I think look a little bit weird. Transfer stuff over. But right now, I'm so happy with the upper body. It's gorgeous. Still needs work, but it's pretty good for what I want it to do. Especially that arm. Look at that flappy little arm. It's so cute. It's so cute. So I'm gonna get this stuff done. I'm gonna talk to a few people, help them animate some stuff for something else, and I will be back on later tonight. I'm streaming Kingdom Hearts because I want to finish that damn game, and I haven't even touched it since the day it came out. That's what's gonna happen. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on Insane Cake Gaming and Animation Gaming. Yeah. We'll work on that. We'll work on my catchphrase. Alright. Thank you. See you later.